Good morning, teacups. I have made it to the airport. I'm just sitting. I got a tall iced grande latte. I don't know what I'm saying. It's early. I should probably drink more of this. A tall iced latte because I don't want the grande to hit me too hard. Sometimes it's a bit heavy. I was going to wait and go through security because I was worried it might be a bit busy, but I've got a fair amount of time. And I have this thing with this airport is it's lovely, but once you go through to security, there's nothing after it. You know, usually you have shops, you have restaurants, like the choices are very limited on the other side, but they've got a few more things on this departures area. So I'm just going to drink this really quickly and then we'll go through security and we'll be able to settle. I've checked in. I actually checked in online. If you ever get the option, if you're not someone who doesn't travel very often, but you have the option of checking in online, always do it. It's so much faster. So there's usually just a counter where you drop off your bags and it just makes the whole process smoother. So I did that about a day and a half ago, and when I got here the guy just said London and went to direct me, and then I said, oh, I've checked in online, and they just put me through to the first class counter because I'm a first class kind of lady, clearly. But it's a shorter thing, and usually if they don't have a dedicated online check-in counter, they'll put you through business or first because it's shorter for you. And really friendly check-in guy, like amazingly friendly check-in guy. Put a priority sticker on my bag, which was nice. So feeling good about it, yeah. And just very chatty, very smiley. I double checked because I am updating my passport. I'm renewing it when I go home. I just double checked. I thought this was correct, but better to know. I said, hey, I travel back on both passports. They can just transfer the visa. And he was like, yeah, they can do that at immigration when you arrive at the other airport. So that should be good. I don't know if they do it when I arrive here at immigration or not, but it's fine as long as it can be done. I just have to travel on both because my visa is in my old passport. But obviously at that point, that passport will have been cancelled and I'll be on my new one. So I just need to give them the old one so they can take the page and they can transfer the stamp. And then I'll keep the old one. In the UK, they give you the old one, they cut the corner off so you can see that it's no longer in use. But sometimes things like this happen and you have to go with it. So that's good. It seems like it's a reasonably smooth process. And then I'll, when I get back to school, I'll just send them a copy of the new one so they've got the new number so they can update. It's called APSHA, the service that you register all your details on if you're a resident, a foreign resident. And so they just need to update APSHA because when I do my final exit, all my details obviously have to match. So I'm going to drink this. I'm going to go through security. You may have seen at the beginning of this video, if I ended up doing the little montage I planned to do, I might not have, but I'd filmed a few bits this morning. I like to put all the things in my hand luggage into like Ziploc bags so that when I get to security and they're asking me, please take out this, please do this, it's really easy to grab all the cables and the power things out of my bag and put them into the tub that they make you do for x-ray. And it's really easy for me to grab my power bank or, okay, this is my liquids bag. And it just stops it being all jumbled up in my bag because I have so many different things in there right now. But all going well so far. Fingers crossed, knock wood. Turn around 3 times and spit. We'll keep going. I hardly ever wear my glasses these days because I always wear my contact lenses. So now that I've got them on, I remember the struggle is real with the fog. Finding my gate now. I've actually got a lot of time, but there isn't a lot going on elsewhere, so I might as well go sit down. I've got a feeling I'm going to be at the gate right at the end because sometimes they lump together the London and the American flights into this special area where they have an extra security area to go through the US border controls, and they frequently put them together. So I think, which way am I going? I think it's going to be down that way. Just pulling my mask down a little bit to talk for a minute because it's fucking up my glasses like crazy. I went through the secondary security of this gate. I was right, we were right down the end. The main portion of my gate hasn't been opened yet, so I'm just sitting in one of the extra seating areas. They let me keep my water because I went up. There's like a circular area at the bottom with the duty free in it, and then there's a mezzanine layer that goes around in the circle with the food court, and then there's little corridors spiking out a bit like spokes on a wheel, and it leads to like a big circle around it with all the gates in. I went to Sparrow and grabbed some water, and then I was like, oh man, am I going to lose it? She was like, no, you can keep it, it's fine. Because I guess because I'd bought it just in here. I did see a little coffee cart on the way in. Do you remember I told you that those are there occasionally? But I'm kind of glad I stopped there and I grabbed a croissant for later because, like I said, I don't like airplane food and I'm going to be travelling a long time today. I left my house at 6:30. I'm going to arrive home at 8 p.m. So not all of that is on the plane, but I want to just have something in my bag for later. So I'm glad I did that because last time I came here, I had to walk through the security area to get to my gate, but the security area wasn't operational. Whereas this time they were actually checking, so I can't just go in and out if I want, so without going through it again. So everything after here, that I did see a little concession shop on the way in, but I don't think I can get to it now that I've been through security. So I'm glad I just stopped and grabbed something because I've got a couple of hours until my flight, and I'd like just, have a sip of water, something like that. But at least it's going smoothly. It'll be a little bit dull for the next couple of hours, but I will probably get my Nintendo Switch out and just pass the time. I will say though, everything's been a lot more chill this time around. I had printed out my proof of vaccination and stuff just in case anyone gave me any trouble this side. No one cares. Most people, half people aren't even wearing masks, even though I think it's still technically enforced here because we're inside. This keeps slipping back up because I'm not putting it all the way down. But I showed him, I had it when I handed over my boarding pass and I was checking in. He was like, you're going to London, you don't need this, because I don't know if you know, but London has completely scrapped any travel restrictions, so you don't have to prove vaccination to come in, you don't have to prove anything. But sometimes the Saudi side, they're just like, hey, we want to see this and that, so I printed everything so that when I come back, because it's only a short trip, I would have everything available. But I think there are no restrictions between the countries now. And yeah, just swanned on through. I was like, wow, this is quite the contrast from when I came back from Dubai, and it was like PCR test, proof of vaccination. I had my school emailing me being like, you need to do the quarantine. Where is the quarantine? Show us proof of the quarantine. And I was like, I don't need to quarantine between Dubai and Saudi. I have checked the regulations. I am vaccinated. I do not need to do this. It was like 5 or 6 emails reminding me, and then it just kind of falling off when I stopped answering them. And I was like, I don't need to. I'm not doing it. So it's been interesting. I'd forgotten what it was like just to travel semi-normally. Like, yes, I've got the mask here, but semi-normally, it's kind of nice. Oh, one thing I did forget to do though. So I'm a fairly seasoned traveller. Like, you've seen me, I've got my bags ready, I've got my routine that I do when I travel, easy to slip on and off shoes, like the basics. Yeah, you get used to it. One thing I forgot to do, usually when I travel, I wear like a wireless bra. 1 for comfort, but 2 because the underwire in the bra sets off the security machine. And I forgot about it this time, so I've been setting off the security machine at everyone I've gone through so far. Luckily, it wouldn't have really made a difference if a guy was scanning me or not, but because I'm female, they tend to just forward me onto the female attendants by default. The areas aren't as strongly segregated, but they have different posts, so I think they just find it easier, so anyone who would object won't. So when she scanned it beeped right around there, and I just looked at her, I was like, yeah, and she laughed. So sometimes it's like, oh yeah, hi, we know, but yeah, travel hack, try wearing wireless bras. Hi everybody, I made it to the UK. I'm currently in the London coach station. I am just waiting for I'm just checking that wasn't my bus, I'm just waiting for my coach to get me to my final destination, and then hopefully the day will be over. It's going to be a few hours on the coach though, so not really looking forward to it, but not going too badly so far. Hello teacups, I'm sitting at my local train station, heading into the city, and then I'm going on to Newport. So Newport is where the passport office is. I'm getting my passport today. Fingers crossed it all goes smoothly. They did cancel a couple of my trains because I wanted to take direct. I don't like doing the change, but there are a few with a change in them. If I get stranded somewhere, everything gets delayed because a lot of engineering work seems to be going on right now. And then there's a lot on the on the websites about, you know, what, there's COVID and all of that, so they're having trouble getting full teams onto the trains, lots of stuff. So fingers crossed at the moment. It means I'm going to get there very early. I'm due to get there about between 11 and 11:30. So I'm going to be hanging out a little bit, but it seems like a mainstream walk down, right down the main street, and then the passport office is down the other end, so I'm going to check where it is, and then I'll just hang out for a while, have a coffee, do a little bit of shopping, and hopefully it'll all go well. Okay, we have made it to the station. Never underestimate how good it makes your day when someone goes, "Oh, I like your eyeshadow." A lady came up to me on the train. She was just kind of standing next to me because it was a bit crowded. And she was like, "You look gorgeous today." Thank you. Just makes your whole day brighter. Do it to other people. It's great. And then you feel good for making them feel good. It's so nice. So I'm sitting in Cafe Nero, I've got a coffee, I've got some breakfast, and I'm just waiting it out. I've got nearly an hour to wait for my train because I'm that kind of obsessive. I'm so used to things going wrong in travel, I just leave time and time and time. I was hitting a weird point with my local train where there was a bit of a gap, and the next one would have got me there in time, but I would have been worried, whereas I don't mind chilling for a little bit and like walking around the shop, getting a coffee and waiting the time out if it means I'm ready, you know, so this is where we are, and we're doing well. Okay, made it onto the Cardiff train. I was a little bit worried because I had an off-peak ticket, and because I was moved to a different train I didn't have a set seat. And so what happens is you have these little areas have tickets, and if there's a ticket stuck in it, it's because someone's reserved that seat, you can't sit in it, or you check it and see if your journey's going to overlap with theirs. If it's not, you can use it, but you just have to be aware of it. So there's always a little bit of a rush for the carriages that don't have the set seating, and that's fine. Okay, I've made it to Newport. I had a funny conversation with the guy on the other side. I tried to exit the station the other way, and he was like, "Are you sure this is the way you want to go?" And I was like, "I don't know," trying to get to the passport office. And he was like, "Oh, you need to be the other side." And I had just gone over the overpass because I'd asked the conductor on the platform I was on when I arrived, like, which way do I go, and he'd sent me that way, and I was like, "Oh, but I was just told to come here." And he's like, "Oh, he's for the crap, he is." And I was like, "All right, fair, call a spade a spade." So, sorry, sirens, no, go for it, man. Oh, he's got the flashing lights, so something's going down. So I'm gonna look at Google Maps. Apparently it's like a mile away, so not too bad. As you can see, it's quite bright, sun's come out, a bit chilly, but it's all right. So we'll do a little walk. Apparently I've got the guy who told me to go out the other side then gave me a really long set of instructions for getting there, and I was like, "Thank you so much." I don't remember a single one. Cross the road and follow the river was the general gist of it, I think. So I'm just gonna do that for the minute and then turn on Google Maps and see where I am, but apparently it's through the city centre, so it's not gonna be too bad. I can always ask for help. All right, we're gonna do this. Well, it's a good thing I'm not trying to come in a car. Apparently there's a few blockades here. Pedestrians can still get through, so I should be all right. Look at the mural on this car park. Okay, I was having a few little problems there, but it's okay now. There's a part where you're getting up to where the river is, where, you know, when Google Maps doesn't have exact location, so it's like grey line, once you get here, follow this track. But the grey line was like the central bus station with all of the roads crisscrossing, and it was just like, oh, I don't know where I am. I went into the Friars Walk, which was the mall there, and I was like, oh no, not meant to be in here, I was meant to go around it. And I think I'm on the right track now though, so now I'm on the right road. I was just meant to go around the bus station and behind the mall, but I didn't know where I was for a second. Job done. I'm very excited. So I got my passports, now I can travel on both of them, and when I get to immigration I was told that they would transfer the visa over, so that's all sorted. But so relieved it's done. The appointment went so smoothly, I was really pleased, in and out in 5 minutes. So that was all good. I'm heading back now. It's going to be quite late when I get home. I've got a couple of hours on this train and then I'm going to get the local one. So long day, but happy I did it. This was the big worry, so all finished. Hello teacups, what's brewing? Apologies if this is a little bit wobbly. I don't have a stand with me because I didn't bring one. Hope you're doing okay. We've moved forward a couple of days since my last set of clips, which I think were when I was getting my passport. It's all sorted now, which I'm really happy about. It's Bank Holiday Monday today, so I'm not doing anything, having a very chill day. at home with the, whoops. Chili is not having a chill day. Let me go check that out. What's the emergency, sir? Sir? What's the emergency? Can you tell me? Okay, sometimes a big lorry goes past and he thinks it's attacking us and he just starts barking. He likes to sit by the door and sleep because he's currently on my dad's jacket, like the high visibility jacket. Because my dad's out at the moment and the dog sulks. The dog sulks and he sits on the jacket and he'll put his paw on the arm so you can't get it up recently, and he'll just look at you like, where have you been? Why did you leave me? And so he's there just to make dad feel guilty when he comes back. I love it. We love him. It's fine. So very chill day. I'm just sitting here with the papers. I bought the Sunday papers yesterday. Oh, I can't turn this around. Never mind. Got all the Sunday papers. The Sunday papers are a thing in the UK where on Sunday, I've got the Sunday Times, and it has a ton of supplements that you don't usually get during the week. So you get a couple of magazines in there, you get some different pull-out sections. It's nice. It's a nice chill way to spend your morning. So I got a cup of coffee. I've got a quiche in the oven for lunch. Just reading the papers and chilling out, which is nice. I might have a little bit of foodie on in a minute to try and catch up with her, but I hear she's been quite boring. I'm just watching a react with Pulpy, and we'll see if anything interesting comes up. We'll see if I decide to kind of montage the videos together and do what I do. We'll see if I have time. I'm not sure I will today. And well, I was just sat here and said how chill the day is. I might have time today, but it might not be worth the time. It's probably more to the point. If I can be bothered today, I will do it. If not, then maybe I won't. Tomorrow I'm going into the city centre to do some last minute things. I've got to pick some stuff up. I've got to get some passport photos with a blue background done. So I'm going to go into probably, what's the name of that place? Oh shit, I've forgotten. But there's a chain of stores that does photography stuff that can handle doing visa passports. So passport pages, passport photos. Jesus Christ, where is my coffee? my words are just So anyway, they can do that. Usually I go to the machine, which is a bit of a closer walk, but instead of having to go into town. But because I need a coloured background, I can't do it on the regular machine. So we're just going to stick with that. And I'll get some last minute shopping while I'm there. And then the day after is a travel day. So I'm leaving here quite early. I think the bus goes at about 9:30. Take me a few hours to get into London because I'm flying to London. Well, there was a few different routes, so I've just taken the fastest one I can. Because if it's a case of where do you spend the hour, on the coach or in the airport, in the airport there are places to sit, you can chill, whatever. It's more comfortable than the coach. So that's what I'll do. And then I'm flying out from London and I'll be back technically tomorrow because it's an overnight flight, but quite early tomorrow. So I actually have to message my driver and just make sure that I'm set up for that. I did tell him when, but it's always good to remind him. But yeah, other than that, it's been a very quick visit, but quite a productive one, which is nice. Hello, teacups. So I'm in the city centre. I want to go to HSBC because I had to deposit some money in the bank, and they're only deposit ATMs for business customers. So I was like, I'll go in branch. It's not a big deal. I want to do some shopping anyway. And they're refurbishing the branch, so now I have to go all the way to the next one, which is about a 20-minute walk. So we've grabbed some coffee and we're on our way. So I'm in a part of Birmingham right now called the Jewellery Quarter, and it's a little outside of the main part of the city. It's mostly like businesses and studios and things like that. But it really does embody the things I miss about the UK. Just the atmosphere. I don't mean like home and people and things like that. Of course you miss those. But there's a really sort of casual history that you get in the UK with the buildings and the cities. Because they have been here so long, they've grown organically. They haven't generally been built to purpose. And even though there are new things inside old shells, it's still all there. And I miss that walking through. I miss kind of the slightly crooked streets and the old buildings and the brickwork. And it's something that just is really kind of irreplaceable wherever I go. And this is what I mean, like you can see the modernity, you can see the new companies in, but all the old buildings are housing them. Okay, we're done walking around, we've made it back into the city centre, I've done a couple of other things I needed to do. I was quite excited. I've been wanting to try Juvia's place for a while, and with it being American it's always a bit awkward getting it in, but since I've been away, Superdrug have started carrying it. So they didn't have a big selection, but they did have a lovely taupe palette, and just nice, neutral, cool toned, which I tend to really need. I was really pleased with it. I did go. So in Boots they carry Milani, and I've been wanting to try their foundation because I think there's one that's light enough for me, and also just because of the shade they threw at Amber Heard by being like, hey dude, this wasn't released until 2017. I was like, I will support that brand. But unfortunately a lot of the stock was out and I couldn't get anything. There was an eyeshadow palette I had my eye on and a foundation, and unfortunately neither were in stock, but I'm wondering if anywhere else carries them because I'm currently sitting in Primark. I need to get a couple of things before I go, and then yeah, I'll be flying tomorrow, so that's the end of my trip really. So thank you for joining me for these little pieces, and I guess I'll see you with the next react, won't I? Bye everyone.